Okay, good morning to all my students, Tri, Gamma, and Lambda. Can you hear me?
Yes, can.
Loud and clear. Okay, good. Internet, like I said earlier, internet maybe got some problem. But I try we try to do the Google Classroom because today all teachers come to school. And maybe some of the many teachers do online classes use the same internet. Maybe the internet got a bit slower but we try to conduct because tomorrow already holiday, right? Tomorrow because holiday for the Chinese New Year today, tomorrow. That's why today all teachers come because the pengetua want to give some ampau to all teacher. Okay, right, never mind. Can you see my presentation? Can So our presentation, our lesson for today is 1.3, right? Stimuli and responses in plant. Is it true? 1.2 is already finished. So we continue to our next topic for today, 1.3. Stimuli and responses in plant. So also you can refer to your textbook also, right? Okay, we continue. So I start the lesson now. Okay. So our previous lesson, stimuli and response in human. Okay. Actually, in plant also there is a stimuli and response in plant, because we consider plants as a living organism. Okay. When I say living organism, okay, when you hear about living organism or the living things, meaning that it is consists of animal, plant, and we as human, and also microorganism. Okay, and then every living organism has its own what we call can feel or can detect the stimuli, and they can also respond to the stimuli that they receive. In previous lesson 1.2, we already learned about the stimuli and responses in plant. Sorry, in human, right? In human. Okay, anybody can give me one what we call stimuli in detected by human. Give me one example of stimuli. Anybody? Stimuli. Example of stimuli. Anybody? Anybody?
Touch.
Yes, very good. Touch is one of the stimuli. Okay, kinkiloid. Yes, of course. Light is also example of the stimuli. Touch and then light. Okay, and then sound, temperature, whether it is hot and cold, and then the pain, right? This the what we call the chemical in the air that able us to smell, the chemical in the food that we can taste, and that is the example of stimuli. Okay, and then we also learn about the sensory organ that detect the stimuli. Okay, for example, kinkiloid, you just said the stimuli, example of stimuli is light. Kinkiloid, you said stimuli is light. So what is the sensory organ that detect light? Kinkiloid or anybody else can answer. Light is the stimuli. So what is the sensory organ that detect light? Anybody? No, not plant. Yeah, we do not enter plant yet. We just do a bit of revision in previous lesson. In human, sorry, in human. What is the sensory organ that detect light? King Kilo, yes, very good. Eyes. Okay, eyes is one of the organ, the sensory organ that detects the light. And then make sure you remember lah. You remember the parts and function of the eyes, the ears, nose, and then our tongue and our skin. Maybe a little bit overwhelming. Maybe for you got many things to remember, but believe me, if you understand the whole structure and the whole concept of it, you will find it easier. Maybe some of the terms you need to remember lah. For example, the parts and function of eyes, right? So many parts, right? But if you try to understand it, I think it is okay. And then the next one, you still remember with the previous lesson, the mechanism of hearing, and then the mechanism of sight, and then the defect of sight, and then the defects of hearing. Make sure you try to read back your textbook and then try to answer that. And then we try to do it on the workbook later. Okay. So today is 1.3 stimuli and responses in plant. Plant also living organism. And then plant also has stimuli and has responses. But the responses is not same as human. Yeah? The stimuli in plant is not as same as in human. Can plant feel the pain? Do you think plant can feel pain?
Maybe.
Can or cannot? You think plant? If you take the knife and then you try to what we call hit the plant, do you think plant able to feel the pain? Boleh ke? Cannot?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay. Yes, maybe. Who knows? Cannot. Some said cannot. Bonfire, you said can. I don't know lah. Because if plant can feel the pain, it will be screaming lah, right? Okay. Maybe. I don't know. People are still searching, but I do not think that plant can feel the pain because there is no why. Because in human, if you still remember the cross section of our skin, they are what we call the cell, the sensory cell that detect the pain, right? But plant do not have that kind of cell. Okay. How about, can plant hear like us? If you you see the cartoon here, if you see the cartoon here at the textbook on my presentation, the guys here talk to the plant. Do you think it is possible? Do you think it is possible? Cannot, right? But I do not want to. But there is a research. There is a research. You can try to find it on the internet. There is a research. One particular plant, they play the hard music, you know, the very strong music, very loud music, rock music. And then the other experiment, same species, same plant, they play the very calming, very slow music, very calm music. And then you know the plant that they play the very slow music is growing faster. I don't know. We do not. They are still searching. Maybe plant can detect sound. Maybe. Okay. That is what we call maybe the research lah. But it is not conclusive. But what do we really know? That plant also have stimuli and responses, that may be different in human lah. Okay, I continue. Responses in plant, we call it tropism, and then nastic movement. Just two responses in plant. You just remember this. Tropism and nastic movement. Okay, so we go one by one. What is tropism actually? It's a directional response of plant to stimuli. Directional, meaning that tropism, okay, I will talk about the stimuli first. The stimuli that can be detected by plant is number one, light, number two, water, gravity, and touch. Okay, can you remember this? Stimuli that can be detected by plant. Yeah? Light, water, gravity, and touch. This is the stimuli that can be felt, can be felt by the plant. Okay? And then tropism here means it is directional. Directional ni apa maksud dia? Dia macam arah. Go to where? For example, the plant, when I take one example of stimuli. I take one example of stimuli. The light here, meaning tropism, directional meaning that the light, the plant will go directly to the light. This is what we call tropism, a directional response of plant to stimuli. Whether it is go to the light, the plant itself, maybe the plant shoot, the plant leaf, daun itu, mungkin dia akan pergi kepada cahaya, go to the light, or maybe it will go against the light. Only these two. This is what we call tropism. Okay, bukan dia boleh nampak pokok ini bukan boleh nampak cahaya, tidak. Maybe it can go towards the light, or maybe the plant can go opposite or direction, what we call opposite direction from the light. Okay, boleh faham ini? Right. So the stimuli that can be detected by plant: light, water, gravity, and touch. And then tropism mean here, maybe the plant go towards the stimuli or go against the stimuli. Okay, right. So I will continue. The plant that is, okay, the plant grow towards the stimuli is known positive tropism. Okay, remember, positive tropism, we call it towards the stimuli. Okay, we call it positive tropism. Okay, and then if the plant that grow away from the stimulus, the internet, okay, away from the stimulus, we call it negative tropism. Away from the stimulus, negative tropism. Is it okay? My internet okay? Respond please, because my presentation is stuck here. Okay, never mind. Okay, can you understand this? This is what we call tropism, the stimuli and the responses in plant. Okay. I need you to do this actually in the experiment, but never mind. Ayo. Never mind. So I think we try to do the experiment later lah, when we go to, when you able to come to school, when the school is reopened, then we can do the experiment lah. Okay. Right. So tropism. Remember, tropism. You can still hear me? Because I think internet a bit slow.
Yes,
Yeah.
ya
Clear,
tahu.
okay, never mind. So the first tropism you need to remember is phototropism. Like the name suggests, phototropism meaning that parts of the plant go toward the light. Dia pergi kepada cahaya. You can see the picture here. You can see the picture here. Okay, this is what we call phototropism. We have the sources of light here. Okay, this is the sources of light here, and then this is the direction of the plant, meaning it will grow towards the light. Okay, how many parts of plant? Anybody? There are 3 parts of plant, right? This one, number 1. Sorry, I use this function lah. Okay, there are 3 parts of plant. This one, wow, very big. And then this one, and then another one is under the soil. Okay, can you give me number 1? What is this part of the plant? Can you see it? Anybody? What is this plus? What are the parts? Number 1. Anybody? Apa nama ini? 3 parts of plant. Number 1 is, we call it?
Leaf.
Yes, good. This we call it leaf. Daun. Kan? Daun ataupun we call it shoot. Shoot. Bukan tembak. Ini shoot. Daun. There are 3 parts of plant. 1 is leaf. And then number 2? Just below the leaf. Nombor 2 yang rasa apa itu? In BM we call it batang. Kalau dalam BM kita panggil dia batang pokok. In BI we call it as the stem of the plant, batang pokok. Okay, last one. Nombor 3. Ini berada di dalam tanah. Kalau dalam tanah ini panggil apa? We call it what?
Roots.
Yes, very good. We call it root. Ataupun ini 3, what we call 3 parts of plant. Okay, so phototropism here. Phototropism here is the response of the plant towards the what? Respond the plant towards the light. Dia pergi kepada cahaya. Okay, so the shoot of the plant, we call it positive phototropism. Positive phototropism sebab dia suka cahaya. Okay, boleh faham? Okay, why the leaf always grow towards the light? Kenapa daun ni dia suka cahaya? Sebab apa? Ini mesti daun mesti buat apa? Photosynthesis. They must obtain enough sunlight to carry the photosynthesis. That's why leaf is phototropism. Negative or positive? Leaf. Negative or positive phototropism? Leaf. Leaf, we call it positive. Yes, very good. We call it positive phototropism. Sebab dia pergi kepada cahaya. Okay? Remember that. Number 2, hydrotropism. You just remember, hydro mean air. Okay? Dia suka bahagian pokok ini, the parts of the plant like to go to the water. Which part you think? Leaf, shoot, stem or root? Mana yang suka pergi air? Kikiloid. Yes, betul. Kikiloid say root, and then kamu juga betul jawapan kamu. Roots here, we call it positive phototropism. Why? Because it will go to the water. Okay? Positive hydrotropism. Hydro mean water. Okay? Boleh faham? Why it need to go to the water? Because it need to obtain the water to carry photosynthesis. Okay, dia mesti akar ini dia pergi kepada air. For what? They must find the water in order to perform or to do photosynthesis, right? So we call it the root parts, right? The root parts of the plant, we call it positive hydrotropism. Positive hydrotropism, because the root will try to go to find the water. It will grow and then go directly to the sources of water. This is positive hydrotropism. Boleh ya? Okay. So my question is, kalau daun ini shoot, okay, daun ini ya, daun ini, okay, ini soalan biasa yang ditanya. This is the shoot. Okay, boleh nampak tak? Okay, saya besarkan lagi ya. This is shoot. What is the tropism of shoot? Negative or positive? Sorry ya, positive hydro. Sorry. Negative or positive. Okay, phototropism. Okay, should. If I ask the question, should negative or positive phototropism? Everybody. In kilo, positive. Sorry.
Negative.
Sorry. Positive or negative phototropism for the shoot?
Positive.
Okay. Shoot is positive phototropism. Okay. But if I change phototropism to hydrotropism, if I change the question, hydrotropism, okay, shoot. Negative or positive?
Negative.
Yes, very good. You understand. If I change the question, negative or positive hydrotropism for should, meaning that it is negative hydrotropism, meaning that negative means away from the stimuli. Okay, very good. Right. So next one. The next tropism, we call it geotropism. Geotropism. Ini macam geografi lah ni kan. Kamu sudah belajar geografi. Geo mean what? Geo mean gravity. Gravity, di mana arah gravity? Very slow. Okay, already. Gravity mean what? Towards the earth or away from the earth? Atas ke bawah? Gravity.
Atas.
Gravity arah atas. Gravity going upward or going downward?
Downward.
Yes. Yes, okay. Very good. Gravity, you remember, is the pull of gravity, is the force that pull us towards downward. Dia pergi bawah, tarik. Okay. So, you just remember here, geotropism, roots of the plant, positive geotropism. Okay. I will show you the picture here, easy for you to remember. Right? Roots is always grow towards the gravity. We call it positive geotropism. Positive geotropism meaning that it will grow toward the gravity. Which part of the plant is the root? This one. And the root here. This is the roots here. Will always, in most cases, root will have positive geotropism. Okay. And then how about the shoot? The shoot here, the shoot, the opposite direction. The shoot, you can say it has negative geotropism. Anything that away from the stimuli, move away from the stimuli, you call it negative. Okay? Can you understand this? Boleh faham?
Yes.
Okay, geotropism. Okay, very good. Okay, right. The rest of the yang panjang-panjang ini tak perlu. Okay, next one is Thigmotropism. Thigmotropism is the response to touch. Thigmo, touch. Okay. Tendril or twining stem show positive thigmotropism when they cling or they climb into whatever object they want to grow. Okay. For example, here cucumber plant and then morning glory plant, cucumber plant here. Any plant that are what we call clinging, or they as they grow, they will climb. Yeah, they will attach themselves to the fences or to the wood. This is what we call by using tendrils or using twining stem. Ini pokok-pokok yang menjala, okay, ataupun menjala. We call it what? What we call that plant in English? Menjala. Show positive response object. Cling into whatever cling into this one. When they cling in onto whatever object or other plants, they come into contact. Example of plant, cucumber plant, and then morning glory plant. Okay, they try to depend on they try to feel the touch, and then they try to climb the object. Okay, in order to do what? To get the sunlight, for example. Okay, tendrils and stem which twine. This is the words. Twine. Twine ni mana dia belit, dia akan panjat. Twine. Pokok itu dia twine over the object, dia memanjat. Okay. And then it will show positive thigmotropism. Contoh pokok apa? Cucumber plant or morning glory. Okay. And then the last one here is what we call by nastic movement. Respond to a stimulus as a touch. Feel touch. Nastic movement also touch but does not depend on the direction of the stimulus. For example, very easy, mimosa plant, this one. Okay, the response is very slow or very fast, this one, nastic movement. If you try to touch this, if you try to touch the plant here, and then suddenly it will collapse. Kan, dia akan tutup. Very fast or very slow, fast or slow response here. Kalau pokok ini, very fast, so nastic movement, the response is fast. But thigmotropism, fast or slow movement? Thigmotropism. Yes. Okay, very good. Thigmotropism, slow response because it need to grow. We cannot see when the plant grow, it cannot be fast, very slow growing, right? And then you can see it will twining, dia akan memanjat perlahan-lahan sampai atas. Twining to what? Maybe twining to the pagar ke, to the fences, right? So nastic movement very fast. For example, mimosa pudica, the name of the plant is mimosa. Kalau bahasa Melayu kita panggil pokok semalu. Sebab bila kita pegang, we touch the plant and then it will simply close. Very special. This is nastic movement in plant. Dia malulah kalau kita pegang dia tutup. Bila kita tidak pegang, dia akan slowly open. Right. Okay. Any question? Ada soalan?
Ada.
Tak ada soalan. Okay, if there is no question, macam biasalah, you do formative practice 1.3. Last time I asked you to do 1.3. Actually not 1.3, 1.2. Okay, saya sudah silap. Okay, so right now, make sure you finish 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. formative practice. And then for this book, wah, banyak ni kena buat. Boleh?
Boleh.
Workbook this one kan? You use this one. You see my camera? You see my camera? This one okay. Science process skill form 3, right? This one. Okay. I do not give you so many homework lah because maybe you want to holiday, right? Chinese New Year. Never mind. So many things to do lah. Okay.
Salin soalan.
Formative practice. Salin soalan. You copy the question and then you answer it. Dalam buku latihan.
Buku latihan saya tahu salin itu. Saya tahu salin ini.
Mana ada, you ada buka kamera ke? Saya tak nampak.
Saya tahu salin ini buku.
Mana? Apa ini, buku apa?
Ini buku tes.
Okay.
Saya
sama salin. Okay. Nanti. Sabar. Buku ini, okay, kelas, buku kerja ini, nanti saya akan bagi dalam Telegram lah. Buat muka surat aja. Okay, boleh ya? Nanti saya bagi dalam Telegram. Okay, sebab banyak nanti kamu pening kepala buat. Saya akan bagi soalan mana, muka surat mana kena buat. I will give you which pages and which question you want to answer. Okay, never mind after this. Boleh ya? Okay. Any question?
No.
No question. Okay, kalau tidak ada soalan, now is 11:16. Okay. Macam biasalah ya, kalau kamu ada soalan, kamu boleh tanya di Telegram. Kerja ataupun arahan kerja rumah, my direction on your homework, I will also give you in the Telegram, in our Telegram channel. Okay, so if you got nothing to ask now, so we stop here. We'll be meeting again next week after the school holiday. So
saya guna ini.
Ya?
Saya guna ini saya.
Mana? Sekejap tak nampak. Boleh. You use that book. Boleh. Liao.
Saling ini saja.
Ya. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Okay, buku teks sudah dapatkan formative practice Okay. Nanti boleh tanya di Telegram Okay. So, kita berhenti sehingga kini sampai ini. So, selamat bercuti. Happy holiday, happy Chinese New Year. Selamat tahun baru Cina kepada semua lah Jadi kalau ada soalan boleh tanya If you have any question, you can free to ask me in the Telegram group. Okay. Bila next week lah kita punya kelas Next week we will meeting again next week. Same time, same day according to the timetable lah Okay. Terima kasih. Selamat bercuti. Selamat tahun baru Cina. Stay safe. Patuh SOP. Terima kasih. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you. Bye-bye all.